Well, good morning, you guys. It's another day for adventure. Steve and I are parked just outside of Zion National Park here in Utah. We parked at a great overnight spot last night after a little bit of a challenge finding a spot. And now we have a great view for sunrise. Steve doesn't usually get up for sunrise unless he needs to get me somewhere. Because we're parked right here, I can get up while he's still in bed, and I'm going to check out the sunrise now. It's a little bit rocky here. And I'm wearing Steve's sandals. It's really nice to have a place like this to ourselves this morning. There's a lot of cool plants here, and the scenery's pretty. The sun's about to come up. There it is. The sun's finally peeking through the clouds. Alright, it's time to get this day started. Adventure awaits. Breakfast. Reheating what Steve calls paste, aka my oatmeal. I'm making some hot water for some coffee and hot chocolate.
Good morning, everybody. It's time to get on the road. So I was thinking a little bit more about last episode in that first overnight spot we tried, and I'm really glad we decided against it. I was thinking, if there was an emergency or if there was somebody messing with us and we had to get out of there in a hurry, there just wouldn't have been getting out of there in a hurry. Like, our van would have been torn apart had we gone more than 3 or 4 miles per hour. So I'm glad we decided against it. I felt much better about the second spot that we ultimately chose. It was quiet. We were the only ones there. So I think we made the right choice.
Alright, we've arrived at Zion National Park. And straight ahead of us is the checkerboard mesa. See the design on that there thing?
Little known fact, that was a high school prank from the class of 1949.
Steve is doing us all a lovely favor. Our windshield is filthy, so he's actually going to try to wash it so as we drive we can get footage without spots all over. It's pretty dirty. Look at that. He's wearing a Superman shirt. He definitely is Superman. So here's where we're at. We're trying to get our bearings. We came in the east entrance. That means we're going to be going through the popular tunnel here. The Zion Mount Carmel tunnel. And doing all these little switchbacks before we get into the main park. So it'll be fun. That's not a big tunnel. Alright, so here's the tunnel. So there's actually a line to get in and go through. So we get to go through the long tunnel now. Steve, are you so excited?
Steve is very excited.
Well, we've been sitting here for quite some time now. I'm hoping we start to move soon because I need to go to the bathroom. I think we both need to go to the bathroom. So, guess we'll see what happens here. I'm not sure what the holdup is. 2 big RVs went through. You have to pay if you're oversized. You have to pay for a guide. And it looks like they only let traffic through one way. And we already saw a bunch of traffic come through one way, so I'm not sure why we're not going.
We've been sitting here for probably at least 10 minutes.
Hopefully we'll be moving soon. And we're finally rolling. Here we go. This is cool. Look at that view. Yeah, I really don't understand why they don't let regular cars go through on both sides. Can you guys see that window in the cliff? Right there in that sheer cliff is the window we drove past when we were going through the tunnel. It's incredible that they tunneled through that. After driving through the tunnel, we were absolutely blown away by what we saw. We have discovered that national parks are national parks for very good reason. The parks we've been visiting are some of the most impressive places we have ever seen in all of our travels, and each one is vastly different. Is that not amazing?
So I realize we just entered the park, but so far I am pretty impressed. This is stands alone, I think, in its just impressiveness. It's amazing.
So when you say it stands alone, do you mean it blows the other parks out of the water?
No, I think it's easy to compare things because we've been kind of doing them almost back to back to back between Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, and now Zion. I just don't want to compare it to the other two because I don't think it's almost apples and oranges to me.
Yeah.
This stands alone by itself as just kind of being its own impressive thing.
I think that's how they all are. They're all so vastly unique and amazing. So I'll be honest, I think it's easy to have sensory overload. We've been seeing so much and everything's so different. It's almost like too much in some ways, but it is just incredible. I'm just blown away. The beauty of God's creation is just incredibly amazing. It's amazing. Zion was more impressive than we even anticipated. Just driving into the visitor center, we were amazed by the massive size of these rock formations and the sheer angle of them. The towering cliffs and deep canyons were utterly majestic.
A lot of folks do like being on Canyon Nova Trail. My friend who's a photographer comes to these 2 bridges there.
Okay. You're so naughty. We pulled into the visitor center around 10 o'clock. Our recommendation, if you want to come to this park, get here early. The only parking there is during the main season is at the visitor center. And if that's full, you have to go outside the park to Springdale and get a shuttle in. Thankfully, we just kind of make the cut for the RV parking lot. So we parked there. It's kind of crazy in there.
Not that that mattered, because there was all types of vehicles in there,
Yeah.
as small as like a VW Bug on up to, you know, full-length RVs. So I don't think anyone's really enforcing anything, unfortunately.
Right. So I think, like with most places, there's understaffing. We have not seen rangers out at all enforcing any parking kind of stuff or anything. So thankfully we were able to get into the RV parking lot. Otherwise it would have been a lot more work to get in here, and then we wouldn't have the van and we couldn't eat during the day or anything. That would have been a major pain. So get here early. We've been spending the morning so far just getting a feel for the park. It is so big and all new to us. So we got some information at the visitor center. And because we kind of got here a little bit later in the morning, we decided just to do an easy hike first to break ourselves into the park. We're doing, we don't know how to say it, Perus Trail, I don't know. Anyway, it's PA''RUS. That's the trail we're doing. I think it's up to 3.5 miles round trip if you do the whole thing. It's all paved, so anyone can go on it. And we're right at the base of the mountains here. These are interesting plants. Almost looks like they've got little pieces of popcorn on them. All right. Now it's time for us to do our next hike. Can't imagine not having a van here. Like, I don't know what people do that have to park way outside the park. I don't even know if there's restaurants in this park or not, but it was really nice to be able to come back to the van, get some lunch, chill out a little bit, recharge. And now we're gonna go for a little bit of a bigger hike. After talking with a park ranger, we decided to do the 2.2 mile out and back Emerald Pools Trail based on the time of day and the time we had left. During the busy time of year, visitors are not allowed to drive in the majority of the park, so we hopped on the shuttle bus to begin this part of our adventure. Ready?
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, so we're right here. We're gonna do the West Rim Trail up this way to the pools. When we were at the park, the hiker's bridge at the Zion Lodge was closed, so we crossed the river at the Grotto, which was shuttle stop 6, and hiked the Kayenta Trail to the Emerald Pools. All right, here we go. We're doing the Kayenta Trail to the Emerald Pools. According to our calculations, this added another 2 miles to our hike, making it a little over 4 miles total. There are 3 officially designated areas on this trail: the lower, middle, and upper Emerald Pools.
That's really cool.
what we found.
Oh yeah, you're right, Johnny. Can you put it on this? Go ahead.
Alright, so we got a look at the lower pool and the middle pool. Now we're heading to the upper pool. I don't know why they call them emerald. Would you say they're emerald?
More like poop brown.
We're going to see the poop brown pools.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a misnomer. I think the folks in the marketing department are trying a little bit too hard.
Seems like at least every other person we passed today says something about Steve's shirt. They'll think he's Superman.
And I have to correct him and say, I'm Batman.
Everybody thinks we're so funny though, making up their jokes about Superman.
Well, we keep getting assurances by everybody we pass that it's worth it. I hope so.
The hike to Upper Emerald Pool is the most strenuous part of the hike. The last quarter mile, very sandy with uneven terrain to get to the final pool at the base of the 300-foot high cliffs above. Within a picture.
Fartsy, fartsy.
So my honest opinion, I think the hike's better than the destination. I actually really enjoyed that hike. This up here, okay.
Well, we've been to the top, and as they say, everything that goes up must go down.
Onward.
So I know this isn't going to sound very Superman or Batman-esque, but the big drawback of this trail is I took a shower yesterday and got all cleaned up, and now I'm a hot, sweaty mess again.
Aww. Poor Steve. Alright, we did it. Just a little over 2 hours. And we're back to our camping spot again for the night. Well, tonight on the menu is some black beans that I doctor up. We shared before that we have a lot of spices in the van, and I'm glad we do. They take up a lot of space, but they are nice to have. So, a little bit of oregano goes in here, some cumin, got some garlic, sriracha sauce. Cooking up some goodness tonight. Then we let it cook all up and get savory. Tonight it was kind of nice to get parked a little bit earlier and have some time just to hang out in the van. Some nights I read or we do stuff on our phone, but tonight I'm actually taking some time to organize a little bit more. We've been on the road full time for over 3 months now and we're still not totally organized. I had a pile of stuff and some bags of things, so sorting through that tonight, and I found this sticker. It's actually the first van life YouTubers that we ever met, Frankie and Alex of F&A Van Life, and they gave us a sticker when we got together with them. I couldn't find it for a long time. We have Paco up here, their little puppy dog, so finally we can add this to our collection here on our door. Oh, we have two. So we're going to put this one here. Fix you and Alex there. So our collection has grown a little bit more. And they're in their rightful spot now. Well, it's a good thing I'm going through all this stuff because I found even more. I found a card from our friends Jeff and Patty from York, Pennsylvania. And they also sent us a sticker of their van. So I've got to add that to the wall here as well. The little wall is growing. So thanks, Jeff and Patty, for sending all that stuff. Sorry I forgot until now. We're getting caught up. So here we are. Well, good morning, you guys. We're parked at that same spot that we were at the night before. Another chilly morning, but not too bad here in the van. It's been a couple days now since we've had a shower. You guys might wonder what we do here for the in-between. Pretty much use wet wipes or washcloths and do our own little bath in the van. But thanks to Planet Fitness and some other things that we found along the way, we are able to shower at least every few days, so it's been working out so far pretty well since we've been on the road. But this morning, it's a wet wipe morning. Well, it's just a little bit before 9 o'clock and we've made it back into the park. I think we both agree that this is our favorite part of the park, is actually the drive in through Route 9. I forget what this route is called, but through the tunnel and the scenic portion. Pretty much the only place you can drive in the park. It's beautiful here. So this morning we're stopping on the east side of the tunnel before going into more of the park. We're going to do the Canyon Overlook Trail. It's the only trail that's on this side. So we're walking near all the traffic that's waiting to get into the tunnel this morning. This is a 1 mile hike that's moderate. A lot of stairs it looks like, and hopefully some great views. Canyon Overlook Trail is a moderate 1 mile out and back trail on the east side of Zion, just outside the entrance of the Zion Mount Carmel Tunnel. The path begins right near the tunnel with a set of sandstone steps.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm thankful to have this handrail here. Yoip! Because that first step is a doozy.
As you progress, the trail is narrow and right up against the canyon wall. At one point, you even have to walk the plank. Well, sort of. If you're afraid of heights at all, it might feel a bit precarious walking along this section of the trail. This is a very cool hike. This area right here. Near the end of the trail, the view opens up to expansive views of the canyon and the Towers of the Virgin. This was definitely my favorite hike in the park. I loved the hike and the payoff at the top. What amazing views. They're all over the place. This is definitely my favorite hike so far in the park. It's a neat hike on the way, and the view back there was absolutely amazing.
That's a little intense.
Did it. I give it 5 vans, definitely. Well, it's lunchtime here in the van. We parked in the RV lot again, and we're rolling the dice. We're parking in a spot that's not really a parking spot, but once again, there's a lot of other vehicles parked here, regular cars and pickup trucks, things that are not RVs. So we're gonna take the chance and hope that we don't have a problem. We don't think we will, but we're gonna do it. Time to get the van ready before we go for a hike. The hot sun out. Voila. So I think we're doing our last hike of Zion. We're doing the Riverside Walk, which takes you up to the entrance of the Narrows that's so popular here. It's a 2-mile round trip, easy hike with lots of great views, I've heard. And we're off to a good start for that. The Riverside Walk is an easy 2.2-mile round trip trail, relatively flat and paved, in the northern end of Zion Canyon. Alright, so we're at the end of the Riverside Trail. This is where the Narrows start, so you can see everybody all suited up in their coveralls or whatever you call it, the waders, to go up the water.
There's a guy climbing right there.
Well, that wraps up our time at Zion National Park. Now we've got to get back to reality. We're at the library, which is convenient for us because it's right outside the park. We're going to do a little work, and we'll catch you a little later. Lots of potholes here. Well, it's time for dinner. One of our go-tos, penne pasta with pesto and spinach. Well, I must say, I miss Aldi's pesto. We got some at Walmart, the Prego brand. Prego.
Plego bland.
Prego.
Blando Plego.
Prego.
Prego
Having a baby.
bland.
The Prego brand, not the same. Well, tonight we broke our rule. We got to our overnight parking spot after dark, but that's because we closed out another library. It closed at 7 and we were there until then. But anyway, it wasn't too bad parking in here. I took the cat out for a little walk. It was actually a little creepy because it sounded like there were some things around and then we heard coyotes. So the walk didn't last very long. But now we're all cozy in the van. I enjoyed Zion National Park today. I thought the sheer cliffs are just amazing. And I really enjoyed the drive in and out a few times we did that on Route 9. My favorite hike was the Canyon Overlook Trail. I thought that was pretty great. But I would say of all the national parks we've been to so far, which are not a lot, it's not my favorite. And I would say that's probably just because it felt so crowded. I think it's like in a smaller space, so there's more people packed in at the different trails, and everybody has to do the shuttles everywhere pretty much. So that's my 2 cents on the park.
Yeah, I think between Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, and now Zion, again, like I said earlier, it's kind of apples and oranges. You can't quite compare them. Zion was beautiful. And yeah, it was crowded, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Oh yeah, definitely recommend all 3 for sure.
And what was your favorite hike?
Probably the one we did today, the River Walk.
The Riverside Walk.
Riverside Walk. Probably because it's easy. And
I would have guessed it's because it was by the water, because I know he likes creeks.
I was just gonna say because it's by the big old stream and river, whatever you want to call that.
But that doesn't surprise me that you liked it because it was easy. I'm the one that likes the more challenging hikes, I guess.
Yep.
Anyway, so that wraps up our time at Zion. Now we're closer to Hurricane, I guess is how you say the town we're going to next. and we are going there for Van Fest. It's our first official van event, so we're really looking forward to that. We're looking forward to seeing some people that we have met before or know from online, and hope to make some new friends too. So that'll be fun. We're going to be there for a few days. It'll be something really different for us.
Yep. Well, that's the end of this video. Thanks again for tagging along. We appreciate you watching and all your support. We love hearing from you, so take a second and drop us a comment below. And until next time, we'll see ya.
Bye, guys.